In the beginning of Season 5 for Halo Infinite, I called the game's monetization desperate. At the time, they had cut the Season Pass from 100 tiers to 50, justifying this as that now that they didn't have duplicates in the Battle Pass, they were able to offer more things in a single tier. So instead of unlocking one shoulder piece at a time, you can unlock both of them at the same time. And they also offered credits in this battle pass as well, and they called it dynamic content. They then started monetizing the events, changed in title to operation and doubled in size. But if you looked at these operations, a lot of the pass in that is filler. It's emblems, it's XP boosts. And now, with the abandonment of the seasonal model, 343 is going to be solely relying on the operational events to keep players engaged. And looking at this latest operational event, the Spirit of Fire, it is no different than the previous operations that they've run, where the majority of it is filler, it is challenge swaps, it is XP boosts, it is emblems, and the stuff that you would want is more towards the end of the pass, and it is essentially just one entire armor set for the admittedly amazing looking new armor core that we got, which is the Mark IV Spartan. And in my previous video, I mentioned how I would see this having the least amount of customizations available through these events. And looking at the store shop, that seems to be exactly what has happened. They have a huge amount of the Mark IV armor that you can pay for, but very little that you can actually earn. And they are currently selling a bundle of all the armor sets for 3,800 credits, which is an insane amount of money. Each armor set on its own costs about 18 to 1,600 credits. And I can't feel that they just completely ditched the seasonal model to dump this armor into the store, because again, the monetization is getting desperate for this game. And I would not expect any different for the next two operational events that we're going to be receiving as well. I would almost guarantee now that whenever there is a new operation, of course, the store is going to be updated, and there's going to be more armor that you could just purchase in the store than what you could earn in these admittedly free operation passes. It's a real shame that this is what is kind of taking center stage for this update, is the debate and talk around the shop and how most of the armor is in the shop, because the changes that they've made to the game and things that they've added in for CU29 are genuinely really cool, with the loading screens being changed up, which was one of my criticisms before in the past, that it didn't really look like Halo, it didn't feel like Halo. These loading screens are 100% Halo, and the new map that was added in is pretty fun to play on, with the interesting mechanic of running through the middle of the map. You get stealth camo and the different weapon models that have been added in. I'm not much of a Forge creator, but there, of course, has been a whole Forge palette and new items added in. They're going to be adding in community-made maps for Big Team Battle. There is a 24/7 playlist for the new map, which is something that the Winter Contingency 3 was lacking. I know they had a winter-themed map for that, and I didn't get a chance to play on it once because, for whatever reason, they didn't feel the need to make a 24/7 playlist, which I feel is a reaction to people criticizing them for having it with the new one because they didn't have it for the old one. They are adding in the Halo TV show themed helmets that are the ultimate rewards for the next few weeks. And again, this is something to look forward to, but they have mentioned that they're looking to take the weekly rewards, or the ultimate reward, and make them available by other means. And I'm personally worried that they're going to stick them into the cash shop. I personally would rather them focus on new sandbox items like the leaked weapons and the vehicles and new maps instead of on the cosmetic aspect of the game. While having stuff to decorate your Spartan with is something that, of course, drives player engagement, eventually at some point everything that you've unlocked in Halo Infinite is going to go away when the game can no longer connect or they shut the servers off. If you've ever had your console disconnected from the internet and had just tried to play a local bot Slayer match for multiplayer, none of the customization that you've paid for or earned is available to use. So until this aspect of the game is fixed or changed or updated to allow you to have these things when you're not connected to the Xbox network, I would honestly and strongly urge you to not spend any more money on this game. We're also still waiting on some major features to be added in. A match composer like system that'll let you choose to look for any type of playlist or game type that you would want that's not in the current rotation for matchmaking. We're also waiting on what I believe should be a pretty significant user interface overhaul when it comes to the menus and the way things are ordered. There was a tweet that popped up a while ago about a studio that was working specifically on a new UI design, and I feel like that's been forgotten by most of the Halo community as well. And just generally overall, what can we expect after these next three operations? I'm under the impression, just because of the way things have panned out before in the past, that these are going to be the last three events that Halo Infinite sees. I'm hoping that I'm wrong about that, but I feel like if they had a more concrete plan or roadmap, they would have told us when they did their big announcement for what CU29 was going to be. But only time will tell. Let me know what you think about CU29 in the comments down below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. I upload content weekly covering Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. But until next time, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.